A laundry room may be meant for utility, but in today's video, I'm going to show you some fun and functional ways to totally dress it up. Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on this video. If we're just meeting, I'm Katie, and the Katie Fehlinger DIY channel is all about helping you make your home your happiest place. And we do that through DIY tutorials, techniques, and ideas like you'll see in this video. So if that sounds good to you, consider subscribing and ringing the bell to get notified when new videos go up every Thursday. So the laundry room. I mean, it's pretty much one of the most drab rooms in the entire house, right? And even though it does serve a purpose for what many would consider one of the most boring chores on the planet, why can't that room be inviting? Now, I will admit, I am one of the few people I've ever met that doesn't mind doing laundry. Let me know down in the comments if you feel me on that or if you think I'm totally nuts. But love it or hate it, by the end of this video, you're going to have 3 fun and functional ways to dress up those laundry room walls. So the way my laundry room is set up, you walk into a little mini hall, which then opens up to the washer and the dryer. And that wall was just sitting empty and totally boring for the longest time until I came up with this. I decided to frame a few of my daughter's baby clothes, and I actually based the color scheme in this room on the clothing that I picked. So these are the little footy PJs that the girls wore home from the hospital. So Parker was a little baby shark, doo 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 doo, and Caden was a little monkey, just too stinking cute. And these little track jackets were custom embroidered by their grandmother, so that makes them extra special anyway. But I really love these because the girls' names are sewn on them, and they were some of the first Penn State gear that the girls ever had. We're very big Penn State fans in my house. I hope we can still be friends. Anyway, I love the idea of framing this stuff. It's such a sweet reminder of how small they were when they were born. And rather than sitting in a box somewhere collecting dust, it's here for us to see every time we walk by to clean all their size 4T laundry now. So guys, I'll put a link in the description to the frames that I used for this. I really like the natural sort of weather-beaten look to the wood. And as for the mats, I ended up using a few pieces of charcoal gray scrapbooking paper that I had just sitting around. So if you look really closely, you can see the seam where some of the paper meets, but it's pretty well hidden this way. And this is total keepsake stuff. Just like a lot of people frame autographed jerseys, this is a wonderful family memory to put up on the wall. So let me know in the comments, if you were to try this, what would you frame? It doesn't have to be your kids' clothes, but I'm just really curious. I'd love to know. Okay, the next piece of wall decor totally puts the fun in function. Check out my lost socks sign. I made this totally from scratch, out of pure necessity, really. When my husband and I lived in this house as adults with no children, missing socks were never an issue. But now as parents, we're constantly searching for at least 3 lost soulmates. Get it? Womp womp. I thought it was funny. So I just took a piece of scrap pine that we had sitting around, I stained it a natural color, and then I stenciled on the lettering. I made this before I had my Cricut machine, so it was a hand painting job, and this is the stencil that I used for it. So because I had to lay this thing down over the entire project, I could only do 1 letter at a time since I had to let each one dry. That was a pain. If I were starting this project now, I would totally just make a quick vinyl stencil on the Cricut and be done with it. So if you want to see that process, I have an entire playlist full of videos all about the Cricut machine. I'll link that up here for you if you want to check it out, and then down in the description as well. And next, I took some clothespins, which I also stained. Now, I actually popped these apart for that and set the hardware aside. And then when the wood stain was all dry, I put them back together and glued them on with Rhino glue, which would absolutely guarantee that they'd never budge. That stuff has insane hold. And this sign has come in really handy from a functionality standpoint, guys. Like I mentioned, we always have at least 2 or 3 socks without their mates that are hanging from this thing. What was so cool about this project was I didn't have to spend any extra money to make it. I made it strictly from stuff that was already just sitting around the house. We have a pile of scrap wood. I couldn't tell you why I had clothespins sitting around, but I did. And we have so many cans of wood stain from other various projects. And then black acrylic paint, Well, that's just part of my regular inventory. And I actually have a checklist of the 19 things that you want to always keep in stock if you're a regular DIYer or crafter. And the link to grab that is down in the description. And then we have what's on the opposite wall in my laundry room. And although it's not something I crafted per se, I did still think it was a pretty cool idea that came from up here. So rather than tucking my ironing board away like I had been doing, I decided to dress it up and actually put it on display. So I gave it a new cover in that same aqua color as was blended into my baby clothes wall art that was hanging around the corner. And then to hang it, I used curtain holdbacks. So I wanted more bulk to the look of the hooks, and plain hooks weren't going to be big enough for what I was going for. So I upgraded to these bronze holdbacks. They're nice and big and sturdy enough to hold the ironing board. And I really like how that burst of aqua fills that part of the wall. So as I mentioned, this room is only about halfway done. So as I wrap up the work on it, I'll share with you some of the other touches that I'm adding in there for function and space saving. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to grab your copy of the 19 must-haves every DIYer needs. That link is down in the description. And let me know in the comments which of these ideas you liked the best, which one inspired you the most, and if you're going to actually try any of these ideas. I'd love to hear how you're going to apply it in your own home. And if you liked the video, let me know by hitting that like button, sharing this with your friends, and also subscribe so that you don't miss any new content. I do post a video every single Thursday, but you can also ring the bell to get notified the second those new videos go up. And in between uploads, I always love hearing from you. I'm on all the social platforms. I've listed those below as well, but I'd like to personally invite you to join the more than 1,000 people that are already a part of my creator community. It's where DIY junkies unite, and it's also where I share exclusive content with that group. So the link to sign up is down in the description. Guys, thank you as always for watching. Keep creating your happy place, and I'll see you next Thursday. I'm so sweaty. Ah! Do I look like a real housewife? Oh my god. Let's do this! With your fellow friends. It does serve a purpose. It's a laundry room. Ruh-roh. In case anyone's wondering, it's still insanely hot in here. Doesn't mind doing laundry. Mind Finally finished.